You guys are the first nonprofit that we've had on the show. What's the vision? Where is this going for you guys?
I knew that we would see transformation in lives. I didn't realize how quickly we would see change in our families. It's beyond anything I could have expected.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talkin St Pete. It's your host, Ryan Bogdan. Before we jump into today's guest, I want to, again, give a big thank you to everyone listening and watching. Your comments, you guys that are subscribing and sharing with friends means the world to us. Today's very special. We have two guests with us. This is the first time doing that. We're gonna jump into a lot of awesome conversations. These two ladies in front of me, Jodi and Joy, have started an amazing nonprofit called Selah Place that started in September of last year, and they are helping single moms, as far as I know. And I honestly don't know too much, and I'm so excited to dive into it because I know they're helping a lot of awesome people. So, Jodi and Joy, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
We're excited to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you guys here. We got to give a shout out to Alicia because she was the one who set this up for us.
Yes.
Thank you, Alicia. Appreciate
that.
Yeah, thanks.
Wish
thanks
you were
for,
here.
Yes, thanks for connecting us. So first, tell me, one, having two guests is funny because now I have two stories in front of me. I'm sure they're both very different. Why don't you tell us, how do you guys know each other?
We met, was it 7 years ago? 8 years?
11.
Oh my God.
11 years ago.
11
Okay.
years
Yeah,
ago.
time flies when you're having fun. Yeah.
And so we met at church. My husband and I are pastors of Generation Church. And so we met there and just became good friends. You share even a little bit more.
Fun fact, I'm a certified nurse midwife, and I delivered or caught two of Joy's babies, her last two babies. So
my last two girls. She
Okay, so
delivered.
you guys are know each other very
we
well.
really know each other.
I love that. Okay, so it goes back. The story starts 11 years ago through the church. That's amazing. I'm sure you guys have a lot of great stories over the time. And so now, the big thing I want to talk about today is learn to how do we get to Selah Place. And for those, can someone just please share with us what exactly are you guys achieving here? What's the mission of that?
So we provide housing and mentorship, discipleship, just guidance and support in life for single moms and their children. Mm-hmm. So most of the women that we serve, or that our target population, is really women who have already gone through another program. But these are women who have come from backgrounds of things like sex trafficking, drug addiction, time in the prison system. Most of them have experienced significant trauma in their life. Oftentimes, they and their children have been separated for a period of time because of issues, usually neglect, but other issues that have led to DCF removal of the children. So really our goal is to see those women either reunified or ideally never separated from their children in the first place as they come into our program, and to begin to rebuild their lives together with the help and support of what we're providing for them.
What a mission. That's incredible. And Joy, what's your involvement with Selah Place?
We both kind of just did this together. What was it? In 2015, we visited a home. We saw single moms with babies, and we saw what was happening there, and we just really felt a burden for it. We were like, we can do this. And that was all the way in 2015. And so now just getting to be a part of this. But really, we've kind of just been doing it together. I don't know.
Okay, got it. So 2015, you saw that there was a need, and through the years here, then came to find Selah Place. And so the big need, how big of the need is, and is it just Pinellas County? Who are we serving?
So we're really serving the Tampa Bay area. Okay. For me, I began to see the need. I worked at the community health center in Pinellas County, and started to just see how many women I saw coming through as a midwife who were either at risk of losing their children or had already lost their children. And it really just occurred to me that if they had the support they needed, they would be able to get back on their feet. But so many of them came from broken homes themselves, had walked through so much trauma, and really had no one to walk it out with them. So in the beginning, we tried to my husband and I tried to address the issue by being involved in foster care, and we did some fostering and adopted a few children out of foster care as well. But through that, really saw that it was not making a dent in the problem. I'm sure that that the need for foster homes in Pinellas County is great. It's there's always children that they don't have a bed for. The whole time we did foster care, we were actually had more children than we were licensed for, because there was just such a great need. So, I think I heard from Pasco County last week, and Pasco County Drug Court, and she said there's no program like this in this area. And she said, does Pinellas County know about you yet? Because this is going to be huge. Yeah. So we believe the impact that we could have. Really, our main hang up is funding. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're a fully volunteer-based organization at this point, and many of us are putting in full-time hours every week.
A lot of people have just come through our church volunteering and getting trained. And
we have an incredible team, but the need is great. So
how many people are on the team, and what's the need of, say, for every one volunteer, how many moms are you able to help?
Yeah. So actually, just from the point of contact with mom, there's at least 3 people every week who have contact with mom. Every family is assigned a family advocate, and so they have someone who just goes to bat for them, making sure they have the things they need. They also have a mentor assigned to them, someone who does Bible study, but also someone who helps them with day-to-day
budgeting.
Yeah, budgeting, goal setting. We have a job counselor. So we currently have a team of about 30 volunteers.
Okay. So I heard, is it 3 to 1? There's 3 people for every one person that you're able to help. So at this moment, are we helping? Is it 10?
And that doesn't even include the administrative side. Right. That's just in contact with mom.
Right now we have 4 moms in housing, but then there's children involved. So one mom has 4 kids.
Okay.
Another has 1. I think there's 2.
And
then one has 2.
Yeah.
So it's there's probably 10 people in the program right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you guys just started in September. That's amazing that you're able to help that already. And how are these 4 that came in, how are they finding you? How does someone get involved with your?
There's multiple avenues. We have a couple partnerships with some other organizations. There's another organization called Empowered to Change that they are getting them right out of the court system. Yeah. So then we're kind of the next transition, the next step. They've been detoxed, they've gone through it, but now they need the next step. So we have a couple from there. We had one through our website, just connections. I feel like that people, word of mouth, a lot of people now, they're just finding out on every week. There's multiple people saying, hey, we have someone, would you consider, or so.
And Jodi, I heard you mentioned a few different areas that it sounds like you're helping these women with in terms of housing, and I heard budgeting. So someone comes in, they've had a traumatic experience, which no one can predict life events, and everyone's given a different situation, and now they come to you. So what's that look like? Let's help educate everyone. So if we're giving funding to this, what are these women receiving?
Yeah. So each family actually is housed in a single family dwelling. So we have houses. We also have a condo and an apartment where we're at a place of renting all of those, and we'll probably actually continue in that. There might be some on-site housing eventually, but right now that's the process. So housing is first and foremost. The other foundation of what we're doing is discipleship. So we believe that they need to rebuild their life with knowing the hope they have in Jesus Christ and who they are in Him. And so that's the other main foundation. In addition to that, the women receive guidance and direction with their finances. So they receive budgeting information. We help them to repair their credit score. We help them to make a plan for long-term savings so that by the time they leave our program after 2 to 3 years, they're able to put down either a down payment on a house or at least have what they needed saved up to get into an apartment or a condo of their own. We also provide some job counseling for them. We help them get enrolled in classes if they would like to do that. We have one mama that's working on her GED right now, one who's working on or getting enrolled at a local community college. And then
the foster care element too, of like the ones with kids, like if somebody that's helping them, with communication with DCF and getting their like family, like the house, them coming in, doing their visits and to make sure that the house is ready for the kids to come back.
Right.
So all of those. Yeah. If you, even like one of the moms, their daughter, they're doing like schoolwork with her, like helping with her schooling. Yep. So there's just so many different elements.
It's a lot. You guys are helping in a big way. It's helping 4 families right now, right? But doing so much for those 4 families. So I really hats off to you guys for getting. That sounds like a lot to coordinate. And I can definitely tell you guys are going to need more help because I'm sure there's definitely a big need for this. But, I want to keep talking about that a little bit more. But to have 2 souls so pure to want to help and do that. I'm curious of how that came to be. Joy, let's start with you. Just give me a little bit of backstory. How did you get this involved or, feel like this is a purpose for yourself that you want to help with? I know that you saw it, but, there has to be more of a story there that got you.
Well, I think being in ministry and in the church, my heart, and I know Jodi's also, is just to be in the community. Like, it doesn't always have to be in the church building. You end up finding out a lot of needs there. And so I think just a heart to want to be a part of change in our community through the church, the local church. So we just really feel like the local church is a huge part of change. And so I think that's kind of always been our heart, is how can we help? And so seeing what was going on in the foster care system, going to that home that one day and realizing like, okay, people are doing this. We can do this. Like we this is, this can look huge, but man, this one step could really make a big difference in what's happening in our area. So,
and Jodi, what about you? How did you get to this place of having such a big heart?
Well, we, my husband and children and I, we served on the mission field for a little while. And so we, when we were in Central America, we really saw the depravity around us, but it was really hard to address some of the issues because of language barriers, because of not a deep understanding of the culture and how things function and work. But when we came to Pinellas County 11 years ago, we were like, wow, there's an entire mission field here, especially working in a community health center. I really saw that. And so I think just as having a mama's heart, having kids of my own, and just knowing how hard it would be to be separated from your children, no matter what got you to that point, it still is heartbreaking to realize that these moms and kids are separated, and that was not the design. That was not what they were created for. So I think just having a mother's heart and knowing that, gosh, we're in a place where we can speak the language, we understand the culture, like we could really do this. So
got it. So from world travels and seeing the need elsewhere, just fed the fuel to realize that then there's even more of a need here in our own backyard. And you said you've been here 11 years. And Joy, how long have you lived here?
We've been here 13 years.
13 years. Okay. And where are you both originally from?
I was raised in Louisiana.
Okay.
So yeah. And my husband and I, we met in New Orleans.
Oh,
so.
Okay, fun.
I was raised in the middle of a cornfield in Iowa, in the middle of nowhere. Yeah,
got it. So that's how we end up down in sunny Florida.
Yeah, exactly. Knew better than to go back there.
Right. It seems there's a big flock that comes to the St. Pete, Pinellas County area, and that's really what this is all about, is just discovering the amazing people that live here and the story and how they got here, because it's such a melting pot of people from across the country, and there's needs all over, and you guys are the first nonprofit that we've had on the show. Previous episode, we had a lady that helped veterans, in terms of sound bowl healing. So that was really cool. But you guys are serving a different need in a different way. And so since we just started September, what's the vision? Where is this going for you guys? How much of a plan is written out, or are we kind of taking this month by month and just seeing what's happening?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll just let you speak to that
one. Well, we have big goals, and we're kind of just, we're reminding ourselves continually, don't despise the small beginnings. Like every person we touch, every person we're able to serve is one less person, one less statistic, one less child in the system, So we're trying not to despise the small beginnings, but also to realize the need is so great. And so really I feel like the more we can get the word out there, what we're doing, and really voice our willingness to help. The thing that's holding us back the most is numbers of people that we have serving and finances. And so our goal for this year is by the end of 2023 to be serving 12 families.
That's a 3 times.
And we have, we can share a little bit too. We have property. So we have about 3 acres of land that's ready to be developed, that we've had engineers and that are ready to develop houses. But we have an entire plan, a community center to be built, which our goal is this year to start on the community center to get that rolling. But that was kind of our original where we started. But then we realized, okay, we've got to get funding. We need to get the word out there more. So we do plan to build 7 homes and a community center on the 3 acres. So that is so we just started with renting properties because we're like, the need is too great. We've got to get started. We can't wait on this property to be finished. So we just started renting the homes.
And where's the funding coming from now? Have you guys been doing fundraising? Have you been events? How's that happening? I think you have an event coming up.
Yeah,
soon,
we do
right?
have an event coming up. Almost all of our donations are private donations. We have received help from an organization that came out and did do an engineering organization that that came out and did the beginning plans for our building. But almost all of our funding now is donations. I think it all is.
Base.
But we do have an event coming up February 4th. We're hosting our first 5K, a Rise and Run. And that will be at Walsingham Park, 9:15, Saturday, February 4th.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, you hear that? 9:15, February 4th. Where are we going to? That's a 5K.
Yep. And we're running at Walsingham Park. It is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Shelters. Yeah. Shelters 5 and 6. The run starts at 9:15. At 9:45, the after party will start. So we just have music, bounce houses, yard games, just a good time for people to fellowship.
And I think your guys' episode is going to come out. This is being pre-recorded, but this will come out Wednesday, right before that event. So we'll have a little bit of time to get this out to people.
So riserun.com.
RiseRun.com. RiseRun.com. You can sign up. You have only now 2 days to get signed up, everyone, and it's a 5K. It's really short. You can get it done. That's amazing. So there's a registration fee to raise money for that, and then more donations and things at the event. A great cause, everyone. So I really think we need to be supporting this. Okay, so we want to grow. We want to get to 12 families in a year. We're going to grow build a community center, and so then is it then to build housing on these 3 acres that will then you'll be able to take people kind of in house. Yeah, because we're renting places now. I just want to make sure that I fully understand.
So we plan to continue renting. Like we're hoping eventually to work with investors, maybe in purchasing an entire apartment building that we could utilize, but. We feel like the hub, kind of the center of what we're doing, we need to have a community center, and we would like to have some small houses on site there. 7 homes is the current plan for families with young children, so that they're right next door. I actually live on site there, and so it would allow for some more, the ability to kind of help a little bit more on a day-to-day basis.
Awesome. You both have been on mission trips?
We served on the mission field.
Okay, you both have. Yeah, let's have some fun. Let's talk about that. So you're in Central America. Where were you?
We were in Belize.
Oh, Belize. Both on the same trip?
Yeah, both in Central. No. We told her this was before we ever met.
Okay, fun.
Yeah.
Both happened to do. So, I mean, share what happened. What were you seeing down there? What were you working on?
We have some of our best friends started an orphanage there in Belize, and that was 14 years ago. So it started, we built the foundations of we moved there, got to know the community. It was in Punta Gorda, Belize, almost as far south as you can go. And then just helped them build the orphanage. Now they're there. They're called Laugh Out Loud Ministries, and they have 40, 50 kids that are in the orphanage. They've started their own foster care system in Belize. It's just a beautiful ministry. So that's kind of where we served there for a year. My firstborn son, 5 months old, the three of us went down there just to kind of be a part, and pretty incredible. I mean, there's a lot of need there also. So.
And you're there for a year.
For a year.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And where were you?
We were in Villanueva, Guatemala. So we were just outside of Guatemala City, actually lived at the base of Central America's largest squatters village, so like a big slum, and really my husband oversaw the child sponsorship program, and at the time as a nurse, we had a little clinic on site, and so I provided healthcare for women in the community. It started out that I was going to be working with a physician, and the physician left 2 weeks in, and so I was left alone to see women, men, children in the community because they received no other health care. So, but we were on site at a children's home, and so we lived there, did life with the kids.
Both of you guys really intertwined there.
I know, it's crazy.
No, it's really cool. And if you can't tell, the hearts of these two women in front of me are so big that you can feel it. I can feel it pouring out of you guys and everything that you guys are doing, and started even out of country. So just keep doing what you're doing. I really appreciate that. What else you guys had? So is that full time for both of you, or? I mean, Selah Place. I want to make sure everyone knows it's Selah Place. Selah Place. Yeah. What's the website for that? Is it
Selah Place Inc. So SelahPlaceInc.com.
Okay. Yeah. Just want to make sure we say that a bunch so everyone knows about it. SelahPlaceInc.com. You can find out tons of information on there. And can they donate through the website?
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So are we running? So is that full time for both of you, or what's it look like?
Full time for her, I would say.
Very full time. Yeah.
My husband and I are pastors of Generation Church, and so that's also another full time job.
That is a full time job. Yeah, and is that something new that started recently? Because wasn't it a different name prior?
Yes, before when we originally started, it was Seabreeze Community Church.
Okay.
And then 5 years ago, my husband's dad passed it on to my husband and I.
Nice.
And so we just celebrated our 5th anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes.
That's super exciting.
So that's full time, and then 4 kiddos. And so between those, feels like 3 full-time jobs.
Yeah. Exactly. Being a mom and helping other moms and doing that is a full-time thing. So you guys spend this is Talkin St Pete, but you guys are up in Largo. Do you guys make it down to St Pete often, or what's that look like for you?
Date night for me and my husband every Tuesday night.
Yeah.
St. Pete usually.
Yeah. Tuesday night is date night.
So I live a little bit closer to St. Pete. I live in Pinellas Park, just on the edge.
Yes.
But I spend a lot of time in St. Pete. Also, some of our homes are in St. Pete.
Okay,
so
awesome.
We spend time going down to those houses.
Got it. Yeah. Date night on Tuesday. What's our top spot? Where are we going?
We have Noble Crust.
Love Noble Crust.
Ceviche.
Yes.
I don't know how to say the word.
Aleo.
Aleo is a new favorite. Those are probably like our top 3. So we go all the time. Or the pier. Somewhere we love going down to the pier.
Love that.
We love St. Pete.
That's the second time Noble Crust has come up on
really?
the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Noble Crust.
Yes, they're really good.
Dave, have you been there yet?
Jodi, while we're talking about, what's your favorite places to eat in St. Pete?
Not quite as refined. So there's a taco place that it's called Chile Verde.
Oh my god!
It's in an old gas station.
I know exactly where it's at.
So good.
Yep. Gas station
with the big horse standing in front of the
Clydesdales out front.
Yes. Yep. I know exactly. The gym I go to is right near there.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Have you had their tacos?
I haven't been there.
So oh my gosh,
okay.
Their tacos are so authentic, so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. We'll have to check that out.
She said I'm not as refined.
Yeah. No, tacos are refined. I love tacos. Yeah. Come on.
Who doesn't like a taco?
Yeah, and you're always looking for that good taco spot. So Chile Verde.
Oh, it's the best.
Or Casita.
The best.
Casita's another favorite.
Yeah, you like that one too?
Casita Taqueria.
No, still.
No.
It's not. I like it.
You like
it's
authentic.
Just not as authentic.
More Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What do you guys? Are you guys readers? Do you guys read? Mm-hmm. Okay. What's some big books right now that we should be paying attention to, or which a top book that you can recommend to anyone listening to this right now that's maybe moved you in some way?
Trying to think. Right.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm reading a couple of books right now, but one of them is on grant writing, so that's not really riveting for most people. I think for me. I got to think what the name of the book is. I can think of his name is Brother Andrew. going to take these.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
I know. I'm like Mark Batterson. There's a couple. And then there's one I've been, actually, it's a book, but listening through its podcast is Atomic Habits.
I love Atomic Habits. James Clear.
Really
Yeah.
good.
Yes,
Really
can't
good.
say enough good things about that. Folks, if you haven't read that book, you need to check that out.
Oh, I have that on my list.
Yes,
And
Atomic.
then I listen to more like podcasts probably than I do read.
Nowadays, with so much time and everything you got going on, right?
Yes.
It's easier to listen in the car, as everyone's maybe doing right now, listening to us talk. What about St. Pete do you find is special to you guys? So from traveling the world, not growing up here, why did you? We'll start with you, Joy. Why did you pick St. Pete? What?
Well,
I
mean, we didn't necessarily pick St. Pete. I
Why
feel
did
like
St.
it
Pete
kind of
pick you?
picked it. Yes, I think because of the church, that was why. But I've kind of always felt like I was supposed to live in Florida. I love the beaches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you cannot top St. Pete beaches. So I feel like that's, to me, the biggest draw. The weather. I don't like cold weather, so I feel like it's the perfect mix of getting a little cold, but not.
Okay, there's no argument there. That's
And then
I agree.
I love the vibe of St. Pete. I mean, I feel like you still have that city feel, but then you can still have the suburb areas. So I feel like it kind of is a good balance.
Yeah.
And there's so many beaches that are all around and close. And then
We're surrounded by
Tampa.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. There's so much good I can say.
I know. That's why we're here talking about it. There's so much good. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the diversity. I feel like it is kind of a melting pot. I love I love that. I went down to the little restaurant down the street the other night, and the Venezuelan lady and I met yesterday for coffee. You know, like I just love that diversity that St. Pete has to offer. And then, like Joy said, it's just kind of like a small town with a big city feel and so much to do. And
so much to love here, and so much. And I love that you said it, because I feel like everyone, for the most part, I haven't met anyone yet that's not open arms in terms of welcoming you or wanting to meet later or sit down, because I think a lot of people here, and I've said it on every episode, a lot of people who are here are not from here, are not fully local. So when you meet someone new, you kind of can connect on that, that we're both not from here, but we're here now, and we're really enjoying it and all the great things that St. Pete has to offer. I was downtown Tampa, and it's big city, right? And to come back to St. Pete being so local, how involved are you guys with the local community, or how can, maybe I know there's a lot of local businesses owners listening right now, can they help with Selah Place? Because I think as we talk about the awesome community of St. Pete, for anyone listening, and how is there any partnership opportunities there?
As I had mentioned before, like one of the biggest things holding us back right now is funding. And so I think the people of the community of St. Pete, of Pinellas County, care about the people of Pinellas County. Yeah. And so for businesses and organizations, we are offering an opportunity for people to help sponsor families that are in need. So we're just about to roll out a family sponsorship program. Yeah. And in that program, people will have a chance to actually give financially to the organization. In addition to that, so that would be individuals, organizations, businesses, anyone who just has a heart for what we're doing. And then secondly, we're always in need of volunteers. And there is a process for becoming a volunteer. So you don't just say, I want to volunteer and come in. But we do background checking, and we offer training, mandatory training.
And to help, what are some roles that volunteers are volunteering for? I
mean, right now we're in need of anything from someone who wants to come do teaching and education on nutrition and fitness to someone who could help us with IT. I mean, and then for people who really want to be really hands-on, some of those roles that I talked about before, like a family advocate, being that person who goes in and helps her, like, what do you have? What are your needs this week? Like, can I help you make a menu? Can we run to the grocery store together? So lots of like tangible ways that you can be hands-on and serve, and ways that you can be kind of in the background, but really important roles.
There's a lot of roles. Yeah. It sounds like if you have any type of skill, you guys can take it on.
Yes.
Like, from IT to being hands-on,
organizing,
with
and we get donations. We have somebody that runs all the donations that come in, because we have furniture that we put into the home. So we furnish all of the homes.
Right.
So there's so many different areas that There really is.
Well, that's good to know. So there's no limitation here on what we can do to help.
And they can find that on their website as well. They can ask to volunteer on the website, and we'll follow up with them.
So it sounds like the biggest struggle is funding.
Yeah.
That's the hard part, and hopefully our Talkin St Pete community can help with that a little bit. What else? what other than that? Through this, what else have you learned since you started this in September? Because I'm sure there's been some things that have unfolded that you didn't expect, or maybe it's taking a direction that you didn't quite envision. Any project that we start, either one of you.
I know. I feel like we knew there was a need, but I think there's a lot of you get into this and you realize there's way more need than we even felt like. It's just as soon as that we opened, it's like the floodgates just opened. And so I think that for me, that's what I would say has been the biggest eye opener is like, okay, there's a need, but didn't realize it's bigger, especially from realizing that there's really not a program like this out there. A lot of programs, they initially take them in, but there's not a lot of transitional programs where what's the next step. So I think that was a big eye-opener for us too. You maybe can speak to that differently.
Yeah. I think for me, I have just been really surprised. I knew that we would see transformation in lives, and I knew that like generations will be changed because of what we're doing. But I didn't realize it would happen so quickly, and I didn't realize the impact that really just being like knowing that you have a support system, knowing that you're loved and that you're cared for, and that someone's going to be there for you if you need you. If you need them, I didn't realize how quickly we would see change in our families. Like the transformation we've already seen in our first families is beyond anything I could have expected.
I know it can't share too much, but can you share maybe a little success in that and what you're seeing? I mean, I think to break generational habits and things that get passed down is huge and a hard feat in itself. And to change the direction of a generation is amazing. So that's just going to live on past both of you guys. So that's really, really awesome. What can you share about that first family that you've seen where you're like, wow, this has happened quickly?
Yeah, I feel like even just for me personally, seeing when our first mama came in, even just the light in her face, her countenance has completely changed. From like complete hopelessness, you can see hope again. Like she smiles all the time. And then just seeing the reunification with the kids pretty quickly already. So, I mean, you probably can speak more than that. But for me, that's been a big...
No, that's amazing to see the lights come back on.
Yes, but so quickly.
Right. See hope.
So quickly. Yeah. And even for her to share where she's at this quickly is just kind of... Again,
one of the things that we really believe for the families that come in is that, we talk about like people like have walked through a lot of trauma, and we know that there's healing for them. But a lot of people, when they experience healing, they still walk around with the scar. Like there's still that mark of what they walked through. And one of the promises that we really believe is true for the women coming in to our organization is that they'll be healed without a scar, that they'll have a life that won't even reflect their past at all, and that you won't be able to see
almost won't even know that there was anything.
And so I'm beginning to see that already in our first mama, like some of her thought processes and kind of like that just wanting to survive mentality is already gone. And the manipulation that was a tool for surviving trauma and for really staying alive, like we're seeing that like just melt away. Like the manipulation is gone, hope is there, and she's starting to have such a hope for the future, like really dreaming like, wow, I want to own a car. And it's one of the things that we're looking forward to is we're going to start a car program where they can purchase a car that's been donated at a low cost. So if anyone has a car they want to donate, let us know. But, just seeing her really believe in herself.
In a short amount, and she came in September?
Yeah, in September.
Wow.
It's been
pretty
crazy.
mind-boggling. Yeah.
And her little girls are back with her now. They were still in foster care. And so just to see them together again, and the healing that they're experiencing as a family has been pretty incredible.
That's really special. And to be able to pass that on and see that, what's that look like another 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, a year? And because you mentioned 2 to 3, you designed these programs to be 2 to 3 years long. And now that you're seeing that, do you think it could be faster for some? Or is it when they come in, is it like you're in this now for 2 years?
No, of course they always have the option to leave.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But really we're set up so that the first 2 years, like pretty much everyone has 2 years if they want it. The first year is more about their emotional healing and about them really understanding the truth of who they are, restoring that hope. And then we want to see them moving on towards their other goals the next 2 years. So whether that is home ownership, whether that's finishing a degree or an education, even like maybe they have an entrepreneurial spirit and they really want to start a business. Like we want to help them in that. So as long as they have goals they're moving forward into,
we want to help them.
We want to help them until they get there. So we don't want to enable. But we also, as long as they're moving forward, we don't want to stop them short of what they're doing.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, there's just so much there, and to hear that their success already means that whatever the program that you've put in place is working. It sounds like more efficiently than you thought, and it's also the willpower of the moms that are involved in this and the willingness to want to get better. And I mean, that comes from you. I'm a strong believer that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
It's true.
And so to be surrounded by awesome people like you and your volunteers, pouring into these people and changing their environment, that's just a beautiful thing, because everyone deserves to have a positive life and walk around with a smile and have the lights on.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's really, really, really awesome. That's what's happening here in St. Pete, folks. We need more help. We need to help these moms out here. That's a worldwide thing, but let's keep it, like, as you guys said, you traveled, you went away, and you saw that there was a need down in Central America, but you come back and then you realize how much more of there is a need here, and what we can do in our own backyard. And I'm saying this to myself as well, because I recently just told her, like, I think I need to go away and just like do something. And someone had said to me, well, there's a lot of need here as well.
Yeah,
so we can't forget that. We cannot forget that. What's a life lesson I want to hear from both of you that you've learned that's guided you to here? Like, if you could pull one thing out of life that's led you to this, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I have one, but
go.
I feel like I'm talking all the time.
No, you're good.
I think like early in my parenting, I just learned love them through it. And so no matter what the situation, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what they've done, you can still love them through it, And I think that translates into our interactions with everyone that we come in contact with. Like, we cannot have an expectation of people to give us what they need or what we need, but we can still love them through it. Yeah. So I just feel
that's really good.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Joy, do you have something? You don't have, I mean, it could be simple.
Man. I feel like to be willing to get out of your comfort, I think is my biggest life lesson. Like, I think we get in our bubbles, and I think I've said this before, like the American way is we're just so fast paced. We're just going, and we don't realize the need around. We don't see people and so I think being willing to be uncomfortable in scenarios, to whether it's reaching out to that person that is your neighbor or whatever, but like just willing to be uncomfortable and not to just stay in our bubbles, and be, check off all the boxes during the week, I think is my biggest life lesson. I get the most fulfillment out of the uncomfortable moments when I've done something that wasn't in my routine or it wasn't what I planned. I actually feel like I come to life again. And so I feel like
that's where growth happens.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, 100%.
That's where the growth is, when we get out of our own way and we go into something where we build a new system, right?
Yes.
As James Clear would talk about, right? Build a new system to start a new habit, build a new skill. And to your point of people being in that survival mode, it sounds like, you have these moms coming in, they're in this survival mode, that you are in your tunnel, right? But to slow down and realize that this is the time that we have, and to be present and to look around and see that there's other people, there's other souls looking back at you.
Yes.
You have to be in a little bit of more of a thriving mindset, right? And it is just a mindset.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to mean that you have everything figured out around you, but I'm a big believer in mindset and then what it can do. So,
well, and even after COVID, I felt like there was a shift and we have to go back, like where we kind of separated and we kind of started, I think, even more turning that direction of like not being in community and not being around people. And we got to go back to that and find community again. I think people are way too isolated again, even now.
Yeah.
That we've got to kind of turn the pendulum the other direction.
Right. It's
again,
sunny outside, folks. Come outside and smile.
Hang out.
Hang out, which I think St. Pete does a great job of that. That's, you talk about going down to the pier, Vinoy, walking downtown, anywhere. There's so many people out walking around and smiling faces. And so if you're someone sitting inside right now and you are feeling a little blue, come outside. You come down,
exactly.
Go take a walk on the pier. It's beautiful out there.
Come to Walsingham Park.
Come to Walsingham Park on February 4th. Are people walking the 5K?
Yep.
Yes.
Of course they're walking the 5K, right? It's better to be outside walking than running. I'm sure there'll be lots of people running as well. And Arise
Run.
AriseRun.com. AriseRun.com for February 4th. Jodi and Joy, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. It's really amazing to hear both of your stories. And I want to support this in lots of ways. We can chat after ways that I can get involved. And I got to check the calendar, but if I can be there for February 4th for the 5K, I absolutely will. SelahPlaceInc.com and AriseRun.com to sign up for the 5K on February 4th. These two ladies are doing amazing things for our community out here, folks. Let's be sure to support them in every way that we can. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing with a friend. Subscribe on YouTube. Do the like and follow on Spotify and Apple Music. And stay tuned for the next one. Just want to say thanks again and talk soon.